Wasn't getting paid to go in them, I wouldn't be going in them at night.
350 High, Russell House.
Is what?
That's definitely the most creepiest.
When you go inside, it's just old and the floors squeak and the eyes on the pictures on the wall follow you. It's just creepy. Everything makes noise in there, but no one's in there.
Every public safety officer has had experiences in Russell House. Only 2 agreed to talk on camera.
The first night, I had to go down in the basement, and while I'm in the basement, I hear all the noises upstairs, and I know for sure I was the only one in the building.
Sometimes you hear footsteps going up the stairs, but you're the only person in the building.
And then you'll stop to make sure, you're not freaking out, that it's not your footsteps echoing, but no, you'll hear like another 3, 4, 5 more footsteps.
When I set the alarm, if somebody was in there, the alarm would go off. And there's been many nights that I've heard things that sound like a person, but the alarm never goes off.
One time I tried to, test my nerve and, say, was anyone here? And I just only heard something fall. So ever since that day, I haven't done that. I just go there and do what I have to do and try to get out.
The Samuel Russell House is a National Historic Landmark, built between 1828 and 1830 for Samuel Russell, a sea trader who founded Russell and Company, a firm to export goods from China and India. A central figure in China trade, his fast clipper ships outran English merchantmen and pirates on the China Sea. Since then, the Russell House has had many lives. Several generations of the Russell family lived in the house until it was gifted to Wesleyan University in 1937. It served as Wesleyan's Honors College and currently an administrative building. It is also speculated, but not proven, that the house was a stop on the Underground Railroad. It is over 180 years old. Over the years, there have been several accounts of voices, shadows, footsteps, and apparitions appearing to faculty, staff, and public safety officers. In response to these claims, we contacted the Thames Society of Paranormal Investigations, or TSPI, to take a closer look at the house.
We're here to provide something tangible to people, something to validate their personal experiences. Well, I'm really excited to investigate the Russell House.
For us, the biggest thing is to help people.
I think the one thing that people should know about our group is we're not for flash. We try to take a scientific approach to everything.
People that are in fear of the paranormal or don't know how to handle the paranormal or don't know what they're feeling at all, we come in and try to give them some sense of comfort.
What we do specifically when we investigate is we go into an area, we take base readings, we set up all of our camera equipment with night shot on it so we can see in the dark. We have digital voice recorders and we use digital cameras, other handheld video cameras, plus we also take EMF readings, temperature readings.
On Monday, October 20th, 2014, 3 members of TSPI and 2 members of Wesleyan's staff spent the night at Russell House. The following is the result of the investigation. Throughout the night, TSPI cameras were knocked down and turned in rooms where no one was present. Footsteps were recorded and no one was walking through the building.
Oh my God. I just heard some footsteps.
Audio pollution was recorded while the team was in the basement.
We would really like it if you did some things for us.
Oh, crap. You heard that knock? Right before the loud noise?
Mm-hmm.
Can you make a noise similar to that? We never get this kind of interference with our radio, so it was a good point.
Really?
Never.
Despite the evidence collected that night, we can neither confirm nor deny the presence of the paranormal.
The campus is old. The color of the bricks doesn't help. It just looks like Halloween every night on campus.
I think Russell House stands alone. I don't mind the other buildings too much. Maybe a little bit of Olin, but Olin's so big, I really think it's just the echoes, especially when you're walking in the stacks and things like that. But Russell House stands alone.
Many questions still remain. All we can do is savor the ambiguity and listen when others are asleep.
Welcome to Kreischerville, built in 1885. Welcome to Kreischerville, built in 1885.
It was once a small factory town in the New York City borough of Staten Island, but there are few remnants of the neighborhood then known as Kreischerville. A street sign, a big house on a hill, and possibly the spirits of the people who lived there.
We have heard moans and groans, doors shutting. We will actually hear furniture moving around upstairs sometimes, footsteps.
Visitors have reported mysterious sounds and sightings at the house throughout the years. But who could be haunting this place?
Well, Balthasar Kreischer built this town. Balthasar was German. He comes to New York in the 1840s. New York City was built of wooden houses and they were burning down. And he was in the stone business in Germany. He opened his factory here in the 1850s and became very rich. So rich, and he employed everybody that they changed the name of the town from Charleston to Kreischerville. And a lot of people, including me, still call it Kreischerville. But later on, after they were gone, during the war, the anti-German bigotry, they didn't want anything with a German name too much, so they changed it back to Charleston. This house and the one that is gone, which was a mirror image of this, were built in about 1886 for two of his sons. This was Charles's house. Next door was Edward's house. They were mirror image homes. And Charles and Edward worked at the factory across the way.
Balthasar lived in a house on another part of the property. That's where he died in August of 1886 of natural causes. The Kreischer family had a fairly peaceful and happy time on the compound, except for one tragic event. In 1894, when Edward Kreischer took his own life at the factory across the road from the home his father built for him.
They didn't try to hide it. He shot himself, and his wife called the local doctor who lived in Tottenville, which is about 5 miles down the road. And he came and pronounced him dead.
By 1909, the Kreischers had left Staten Island behind for New Jersey. Charles's house is the only one remaining on the property, which changed hands several times, and is currently owned by a real estate developer in California.
The only really sad thing, aside from Edward's suicide, would be the murder in 2005, I believe. That's all recent history, and that has nothing to do with the Kreisers. That was just unfortunate.
In 2005, a man named Joseph Young was living in the mansion as a caretaker. Federal investigators say in April of that year, he carried out a hit ordered by a mob soldier in the Bonanno crime family. The victim, Robert McKelvey, was a Bonanno associate. Investigators say Young, also known as Joe Black, stabbed McKelvey and drowned him in a pond on the property. He then cut up the body and burned it in the house's furnace. Young is serving life in prison without parole for the crime.
As far as hauntings, I don't really believe in it, so I can't really speak to that. But there's a lot of people that feel that they feel something. I don't think it would be Kreisers, because the Kreisers had a happy time here. But possibly with the last events that happened, who knows?
Well, I kind of wasn't always a believer till I started really catching a lot of stuff on my phone.
Rick Rispoli has been the caretaker of the Kreischer Mansion for 2 years.
All right, guys, welcome to the Kreischer Mansion. Let's take a walk inside. This is a thing they used to use in the 1800s called an encruster. It's a cross between leather and linoleum. They used to use a lot in the 1800s. They really don't use it these days, but it was done back then a lot. The house is kind of decorated now for the haunt at the Kreischer Mansion, which is a Halloween hayride and haunted house that we run through the whole month of October. Follow the arrows. Am I going to the front parlor room? Is that the proper for the 1800s? This was the main parlor room from back in the 1800s. And also we got the Kreischer bricks. Yeah, you got a fireplace in every room. This is all done with the Kreischer bricks right in front of all the fireplaces. And this is the only Widow Peak that's outside. The other two were indoors. Right on the water was where the factory was.
During his time there, Rispoli says he's seen and heard many things he can't explain.
Actually, one incident, we were actually right here on the porch unloading chairs one night, about 12:30 at night, and we actually had a song come on the radio. My sister was here with me. We were unloading chairs, and she said, "Rick, the radio went on in the car." And I was like, "Okay." And then all of a sudden she said, "Here's my keys." We've caught orbs. We've actually caught orbs right here on the porch. Took 5 shots. The orbs moved in 5 different positions. There was 4 orbs moving straight right, kind of like in a circle. From one side of this door right here, straight down to the bottom to the other side. We've caught pictures of full bodies looking out the windows and full faces looking out the windows at us.
The Kreischer Mansion has been designated a landmark by New York City, which means it can't be torn down. The owner has had many plans for it over the years, which never materialized. But Rispoli says it could one day be turned into a museum. Because after years of reported hauntings, who would want to live here?
I've kind of got comfortable with it, to be honest with you. I come in here and it's not harmful. Nothing's been harmful at all. It's just been kind of freaky a little bit. But overall, I kind of got comfortable. The house wants to be treated, believe it or not, with respect. If you treat it with respect,